After the abnormal departure of John Southworth from China's mainland, some people came together to put up a farce. This is a textbook example of how to shift the blame to innocent party by distortion of facts and fallacy of composition. John Southworth left without notifying the competent Chinese officials or fulfilling any departure procedures. If he was not worried about being sued by the people of Xinjiang, he should have stayed in China's mainland to face the litigation. If he believes he is threatened, he can call the police, and China will protect his safety. But he chose to run. Why? Why did he leave in such a hurry? What is he worried about? What is he afraid of? There is only one explanation: a guilty conscience. Although Mr. Southworth departed without fulfilling the procedures, we could have left it there, but then he tried to deflect the blame. He is playing a victim. He has also rallied the BBC and the so-called FCCC to issue a statement. China is actually the victim here to the disinformation of BBC. BBC has fabricated large amounts of unethical fake news and disinformation, especially on COVID-19 and Xinjiang. This has caused direct damages to the interests of Xinjiang people, but also China's national image. China launched solemn representations over this repeatedly with the BBC. However, BBC and John Southworth, instead of mending their ways and changing course, went from bad to worse. They are now trying to extort and threaten China. This only serves to show the character of Mr. Southworth and how pathetic the time-honored BBC is. Besides, according to Article 13 of the Regulations of People's Republic of China on news coverage by permanent officers of foreign media organization and foreign journalists, and Section G, Part 1 of the Handbook for Foreign Journalists in China, resident journalists should go through procedures before terminating their posts. Mr. Southworth didn't notify the relevant department or fulfill procedure, so his press card has not expired and he no longer retains the status of a resident journalist. Second, FCCC's statement is a perfect example of giving a one-sided story that distorts facts. First of all, FCCC is an illegal organization that China does not acknowledge. Second, fewer than half of foreign correspondents in China are members of the FCCC, and most of them are Western journalists from the US and Europe. And even within this small circle, as far as I know, FCCC statements are always crafted by the 9 board members, with others not knowing the situation. Third, FCCC says nothing about a large amount of assistance and support that China provides to foreign journalists working and reporting in China, but make accusations against China from time to time. FCCC does not advise against the many false reports by BBC correspondent Southworth. It has no sense of right and wrong and follows no principles. Fourth, FCCC statement said Mr. Southworth has enjoyed a long period of uncertainty about his ability to raise the family in Beijing, claiming that his press card is valid for only a few months. But the fact is, the majority of nearly 500 foreign journalists in China, including the 9 FCCC board members, are granted press cards with 1-year duration. Does FCCC know that all Chinese journalists in the US have a visa valid only for 3 months, and they need to renew their visa every 3 months and pay an extra $455 for each application? Foreign journalists in China should feel lucky. They are aware of this. They just don't want to admit it. Fifth, the statement mentioned that Southworth is expelled, just like the 18 correspondents last year. But the fact is, the US side, out of political oppression in China, denied or delayed visa issuance for more than 20 Chinese journalists and expelled over 60 without cause. They know this very well. On the one hand, FCCC claims that Southworth Sadworth left himself, but on the other hand mentioned in the same breath with the expulsion of those U.S. journalists last year. What a shoddy lie. 6. The statement claimed the attacks against Sadworth and BBC escalated after Britain's broadcasting regulator Ofcom revoked the license of CGTN. I must point out that CGTN is an international media making objective and honest reports. It helps to increase the mutual understanding between the two countries. 7th, FCCC statement said that the departure of Sadworth is a loss for anyone committed to understanding China. That is far from truth. Without his fake news, the outside world will only know China better. Finally, I want to say that the life of journalism lies in truth. You can dislike China, but you can't smear China. If Western media place ideological bias over truthfulness, that's not right. China will continue to provide convenience and facilitations in your reporting and coverage. However, we are firmly opposed to strong ideological bias against China, acts that violate professional ethics, and we firmly reject manufacturing fake news and disinformation to malign and attack China in the name of so-called freedom of the press.